Okay, so I will use most of the same terms that Joss used. Sometimes you can guess that there is a slightly different meaning, but normally not so much actually. And anyway, what I'm going to take you through is the experience of the EDUC Alliance in kind of generalizing mobilities and internationalizing education at scale in this alliance, which is a first wave alliance. So we started early 2020, and we went through a couple of phases to upscale these mobilities and internationalization of the curricula. When you look at the global picture, of course, in the alliance, we push on the Erasmus individual mobilities, taking advantage of a close network and tight network that we have. We also started to develop joint programs within the alliance, but we didn't start from 2020 on that. We started actually in 2023. What we started really in 2020 was what is below, the internationalization of curricula, because we thought that was giving us, the Alliance was giving us the ability to do something unique, which is to offer some level of international exposure to all of our students. And that was for us a very important promise. And for us, the Alliance was the opportunity to do just that. So we went through three phases to implement that vision. Phase one, for the, let's say, pilot phase of the Alliance, was really to foster the development by academics of virtual mobility and virtual exchange courses and international experiences. So whether it is synchronous or asynchronous, it was very much bottom-up, meaning that we didn't impose anything to the program heads or to the academics. It was really more in terms of motivating them to do that, because it would bring value to their students. And so we implemented the infrastructure to allow that. So with an EDUC course catalog, an EDUC LMS, and so on, the infrastructure that you need to run that. And the other thing that was important for us, but for us it was orthogonal to these notions of virtual mobility. It was the strong focus on course level cooperation. Cooperation between students and also cooperation between teachers. And so, of course, we were actually among the different formats that we deployed, doing COIL, but it was only so one aspect of a virtual exchange that we were doing, and that was, let's say, we didn't want to be like promoting only COIL. It was saying, okay, we want to do virtual mobility and exchange courses, and we want to foster cooperation between teachers and cooperation between students. And in about 2 years, we reached the figures here. So we had 5,000 students benefiting from this. And I would say most importantly, we had close to 400 teachers cooperating with their peers within the Alliance. And this was for us very important because it was a way to ignite cooperation that could later on translate in higher level or more coarse-grained cooperation between these teachers who also happen to be researchers. So this is what we did in the first years. Then in the second phase, the 2 years after, what we did is to expand the portfolio of course. Um, Telling the teachers, okay, now maybe you have also online courses that, for instance, you have developed in other circumstances, in other networks, or during the COVID period and so on, and that you want to bring to the EDUC Alliance. So then we motivated the teachers to bring these courses in the Alliance to raise the level of quality. So we have pushed very much at that time on the quality assurance of our courses. And also we have brought more diversity in the internationalization experiences, what we call linguistic interns. We developed also a number of European summer schools. We pushed very hard on the European internships and so on. So more diversity, more quantity, more diversity, and keeping the quality. And in so doing, of course, we had to adapt the university processes to make them able to deal with this heterogeneity in the mobilities and internationalized courses formats that had to be integrated somehow. And we started to work on the grade transfers and so on. I will come back, of course, on this important aspect of how do we recognize that for the students. And then we are now in the third phase, which is more about internationalizing the curricula. So not only bringing new courses, internationalized courses in an EDUC course catalog, but it's also telling the program heads, okay, now you have the opportunity to internationalize progressively your programs, and we offer you a free levels path to achieve that. So it's really a matter of conducting change at the university. So this three layers model is a way to do it in a progressive way. And this goes together with the necessity, of course, to deal more in a more standard way with the credit transfer. Because in the first phase, we were able to deal only with, to play only with certificates. We were giving only EDUC certificates to students that would do internationalized courses outside of their curricula. But now in this third phase, we really need to deal with a full integration of the internationalized courses in the curricula and with the ECTS recognition and so on. What I wanted to say then is, this being said, from the EDUC perspective, all these internationalization opportunities have a pedagogical benefit. But it's not always the same, of course. There is a lot of diversity. We have a huge diversity in the courses modalities that you see here on the second column. And all of them tick some boxes in terms of the soft skills that they help develop. And also all of them contribute to some of the objectives of Erasmus and of the Commission with the internationalization of the curricula and the internationalization in the alliances sense, let's say. And so it's a matter of identifying what it is exactly. So it's not always the same benefits, and also what is the intensity. And of course, the intensity of a non-collaborative VM course, a pure VM course, asynchronous, it's not the same in terms of internationalization, in terms of international exposure than most of the other formats. But still, it has some interest. And so that's for us a key point. The other point is about recognition and counting and measuring the impact. So as I said, we went from in a progressive way from issuing EDUC certificates to taking into account the CTS and transferring the credits and so on. And as for the famous 50% objective set by the Commission for the alliances, you see what is in the call on the right side. For us, life is made simple for our partner universities. All the course modalities are counted the same, and they are counted for one, and all are counted as contributing to the 50% objective. So that's how it works in EDUC. And so that's, as a conclusion, so I guess there are still a lot to be done in terms of understanding the respective pedagogical